Hello everybody, this is Wars McFish Sr., and I am back after just a brief break with some more Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup, featuring Durgg the Grappler, the troll scald of Kikubakotka, who has now survived for 2 videos, although not without some close calls. We made our way through Orc 1 through 3, and a fair portion of the dungeon. Now the next question, I guess, would be, are we ready to go and tackle Lair, or would we rather check out Orc 4? And I'm not sure about that. I could go both ways. You know, just now I was thinking that I think Lair might be easier, because Orc can be dangerous. But let's go ahead and poke our head in Orc 4 and see what happens. Yeah. One second, let me just make sure I'm recording here. Yep, seems to be. Alright, very good. Alright, let's poke our head in Orc 4 and see what happens. We could always beat a hasty retreat if we need to. Oh, I guess we need to go here, and then try again. So far, not too bad. We'll try to take it slow. We'll drag him upstairs and have him deal with our army of minions. Tons of minions. And, yeah, we'll throw up our buffs for good measure here. Nice. Alright, there comes an Orc Sorcerer. The only reason, I'd really like to find a shop. It would be great if we could just boost our AC up a little bit, if we could find some sort of nice hat, or even just an enchanted robe or something. Anything. It would be so nice to just get our AC up a little bit. I'm really worried with an AC of just 7 of stepping in and going toe-to-toe with hydras and frogs, spiny and blink frogs, and you know, those basilisks even were hitting pretty hard. Komodo dragons hit extremely hard. So I don't know. You know, these orcs are dangerous for sure, but I think I'd rather take these guys. I don't know. We want to get a little bit more armor class. We would love to find a felicitous store. Alright. We get that sorcerer, would be great. Oh, what? I got paralyzed. Whoa. That is extremely dangerous. Fortunately, we're able to drag them upstairs to our parlor of death. Sponsored by Kikubakotka, who's a big fan of parlors and death. Welcome to my parlor. Who says that? Is that a character from Hearthstone? I think it is. Deep Troll? Yeah, it must be somebody from Noxramas. I think it's one of the Spider Quarter. Alright, I remember it now. Okay. Good. Our Necromancy's up to 9. Our Charms went down to us up to 3. Which is good for us. By dragging everybody up here, I guess I'm not getting any real corpses downstairs. Ugh, Cyclops. Some dangerous looking foes up there. Is that like... Okay. Large rocks. Well, 2 can play at that game. Oh. Well, he can play it better. That's a little unfortunate. Wish I had repel missiles, which I have not found. Another bookshop or something would have been great. Yeah, 5 large rocks is good for throwing at hydras, but again, you know, we can't throw them at everything. Hydras and spiny frogs and whatever else. Let's try the blowgun. Maybe he'll get close enough. We can take him upstairs. Alright, here we go. We can deal with them one at a time. Fair proportion of giants around here. I wonder if it's Giant Vault or the Ogre Vault or something like that. Hard to sell just yet. Alright, an armor shop. That might be just what we're looking for. Let's go and check that out immediately. Well, just as soon as we take these guys out. Got a couple of consorts. Oh, nice. An ogre corpse. It does seem to be the Ogre Vault. Alright, it's the Ogres. With the Ogre Mage. Alright, so we're backing off to the stairs for sure. Take these guys as they come. We'll use the blowgun. We might as well fire off some poison. But in fact, I'd much rather just take these guys upstairs to my more substantial army. If anything, I can throw poison tomahawks at them if I like. Oh, wow, that hurt a lot. Can we cast Agony on that guy? We need line of sight, probably. He's getting swarmed, fortunately. Wow, that did hurt quite a bit. Throw on Shroud, which is only 1 pip of effectiveness still. That's so unfortunate. And Regeneration, how about? Okay, we can take the Ogre Mage upstairs and separate him. That's good. We really want to just take him out as quickly as possible before he banishes us. Or does any such thing. You know, lightning bolts, crystal spears. Ogre Mages are bad news. We'll probably have a few more to deal with. Fortunately, I'm working up quite the Ogre Skeleton army up here. My ability to cast these necromancy things is only in the yellow. Not like it really matters, because Kiku will protect us most of the time. But yeah, I'm pretty happy about that. If we get up a few ogre corpses, we might be able to cast... Alright. Twisted Resurrection, effectively. That'd be neat, right? That'd be kind of cool. Okay, a lot of people here. But we can get them all, and they all get distracted. It almost makes me want to work up a little bit of stealth, just so I can get slightly better stab opportunities. If people are distracted by my skeletons. But it's a low priority. One day, maybe. I mean, we're already probably not... We're very unstealthy, actually. Even though we're just wearing a robe. We have no skill for it, and we have no racial aptitude for it. So far, I have not been too impressed with these ogres. We've been able to handle them. Right? Oh, whoops, we should take them upstairs for sure. We got tons of food. Here comes a troll. Just take them upstairs one at a time. And I think this is just about, whoa, the best vault we could have expected here on Orc 4. I'm not sure if I said that already, but this is probably better than large amounts of priests or sorcerers or anything like that. I wouldn't want to deal with demons. We don't have much elemental resistance, but we can take a beating and dish out a beating. You know, we can take on large hordes of ogres and giants. So I'm feeling pretty good about this. We're going to be able to get to these shops and check out the shops, which is exactly what I wanted. It'll make me feel a little bit more confident going into Lair. And plus, we did achieve our goal of getting Agony castable, so we can probably actually cast Agony. We're back, you know, I mean, we haven't forgotten that 8-headed Hydra. And we want our revenge. Got a couple of consorts here. It's probably a fair number of these guys. We can cast Regeneration and Shroud and stuff like that. Yeah, come on. Just want to check out these shops mostly. A bookshop and an armor shop. Alright, so let's hope these have got some okay stuff in them. What's this? Distillery. Cubitation is good to know. Degeneration I could pick up for 24 gold just to know it. Same with invisibility probably. That can really come in handy. That could save your life. Especially considering that we've basically been relying on life-saving consumables this game. Okay, this is dangerous, but we got it. Yep, let's back off here. Alright, we should get actually... Alright, I just want to check out these shops. That's cool, and then here's an armor shop. Yes, perfect. Ugh, perfect. It's not great, but I mean, it's much, much better than we have, and it's hard to come by electricity resistance. And See Invisible is redundant, but at least it's +1 armor class and electrical resistance. We don't have to worry about electrical eels and things like that. So we will absolutely buy that. Yeah, let's just make sure there's nothing better before we blow our money. Large rock. We're backing away here. because there's some crazy stuff going on up there. Ogre Mage. Alright, I'm going to go up the stairs here. We'll try to lure him upstairs. Try to throw a couple large rocks, maybe soften him up. Oh, well, this guy is doing really good work. Let's just finish him off. Here's a Cyclops. Ugh. Large rocks. So he was the one throwing the large rocks, probably. Go upstairs. Put on the shroud. Do you want to, like, die anytime soon? Or get close enough that I can take you upstairs? Yeah, come on. Come on over here. Poison him up real good, and now he dies. Losing out on a little bit of experience here because my slaves are taking some of the kills. It's probably relatively negligible. But, you know, it's something to consider. We should try to take the finishing blow as often as possible. Oh, yeah, 15 large rocks. And with no armor class, or with no weight, inventory weight, we are just going to stockpile these rocks. So we've seen that store, we've seen that store. Antique armor. Okay, well, we can get a glowing cloak. Check that out. I'm pleased with that. And then this was a bookshop. Let's see, this looks like air magic. Yep, all air magic, although it does have swiftness and flight are things we could consider if we pick up some charms. Those would be good spells for us, but it's not a priority. Book of Fire, no. Book of Clouds, no. Grand Grimoire, we know, surprisingly. Or no. Necronomicon, we have already. Book of Beasts, no. That does have butterflies in it, maybe. Yeah, but it's not worth it, probably. Book of Spatial Translocations for $650 is a pretty good deal. We could pick up Blink and maybe work up our translocations a little bit. Because it seems like we do want to learn Blink. We end up next to Hydras too often. So maybe that's an option. This book has what? Swiftness, a bunch of charms and such. Okay. Book of Control. Yeah, we already know anything there that we'd like to. Book of the Earth is a little too high level for us. We don't have huge aspirations for Earth magic. Book of Envenomations is not really our style. Book of the Sky is definitely not for us. So, okay. We might pick up Spatial Translocations. It's not a bad option. I would have preferred Minor Magic, because that would have Blink and Repel Missiles. But, okay. Repel. No, we haven't seen anything. Well, alright. So I think that was the main vault here. You know, let's just explore the rest of this floor. Sometimes there's other shops lingering around, so let's just make sure we're not wasting our money. I think we can handle whatever else we can see without too much difficulty. Tackled the main ogre vaults. We just have ancillary orcs to deal with and such. Troll. We'll use a blowgun. Why not? Get it from a distance. Oh, whoops, no, come on. Wield, nothing. There, alright, he's dead. Good. There's always a possibility that you run into St. Roka or something like that. It's definitely happened to me before. I thought I cleared out all of Orc 4, or the hard part of Orc 4. And then off in the wings, I just ran into St. Roka, and I was like, oh, okay. Well, there we go. Alright, so we did, in fact, explore everything. Yeah, well, I guess we're going to spend our money. We got tons of money. It would be a shame not to spend it. And probably that would just make the random number generator spawn something better out of spite and irony. So it's a good investment either way. Alright, good. Definitely buy the Robe of Trinlaur. It's a little hard to pronounce. Sounds elvish to me. I don't know. It's a little fruity for a dark Durgg troll such as myself, but I'll take it. And then this cloak. Yeah, we don't have a good cloak, right? We have a +1 cloak, but this could be a +2 cloak. In fact, it was. So, alright. Worth it. Bookshop here. Worth picking up Blink. Yeah, I think so. Let's buy Book of Spatial Translocations. It's a good spell book. It's worth the money. I'll memorize Blink. 21%. And yeah, my charms is getting better. I guess I'd like to get my translocations a little bit better. Yeah, I'm spreading my spells. I'm spreading my skills a little thin again. I'll turn off charms at some point, but I did want to turn my fighting on. So, alright. Keep translocations on until Blink gets more castable. Alright. And there we go. That's Orc 4. So that didn't take very long. Let's go and see if we can clear out Lair now. I'll go back to my stash, drop off my book. Drop off me book. And anything else that might be worth dropping off. That looks good. We got a bunch of throwing stuff. Probably do want to do something about that at that point. What is Blink? Blink is E? Let's set it to I. That makes more sense to me. I. I for Blink. Alright, and now we'll go to the lair. And we will be very careful when we go there. We're not just going to go directly in. Not going to auto-explore directly in. Because we know that there's a nasty Hydra waiting for us there. Hopefully he has had the sense to move by now. I don't think he's just been camping out for the past 20 years or however long it's been. But you never know these stupid Hydras. They're very persistent. So let's see. The lair was on 8, I believe. But I'm feeling more confident now. Truly am. We have Agony at 14%, a 6/7 chance of success. So we'll put on our Shroud. Oh well, we'll deal with this guy. And not animate him because we can't. Now we'll put on... come on now. Put on a Shroud. We want to put our best foot forward here. Put on a Shroud. And go downstairs. So he is right there. Let's drag him upstairs. Look how much damage he did. Did you see that? Well, it does seem that my guys were doing some damage. They're a little slow here. But he took away more than half my life. I'd like to cast Agony on him, but... or throw a rock. He's going to heal up pretty soon. You know what? We might just ignore this problem. Yeah, it's irresponsible. I do have 15 large rocks. I could try to blink, but it's risky. What do I have here? Fireball, slowing. I could quaff haste and outpace him. But I only have 2 of those. Can I slow him? He resists. Okay, well that's a shame. Let's try a blink. Alright, and now let's just try a couple large rocks. Blink? Whoa, no, 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 no. Okay. Whoops, we have to blink. We died. Crap, we died. Crap. Oh no, it's so bad. What is wrong with me? I should have just gone into the lair just then. Or something, not just randomly blinking. Oh well. Well, this is a terrible character. I have bad luck with trolls on this channel, I guess. I don't know what to tell you. That was really bad. Oh man, I had high hopes for that character. We had the Necronomicon and everything. I mean, we overinvested in necromancy, which meant we were underdeveloped in the skills that we really needed, probably like fighting and dodging. But we tried. We tried. That 8-headed Hydra, man. That 8-headed Hydra is a nightmare. The much wiser thing to do would have been to just quaff that potion of haste, of course. But of course I was hoarding it, because I thought it would come in more in handy later. Quaff the potion of haste, or just go downstairs and then fight the other more reasonable lair monsters. Such a shame, such a shame. But oh well, I tried. I might actually go for a similar build with a deep elf, and then see if we can actually have like a reasonable attempt at a Necromancer character. I might go a Deep Elf Conjurer and just worship Kiku and try the same thing, and then we can actually utilize the spells in the Necronomicon within a reasonable amount of time. You know, I'm not trying to make excuses here. You know, that was totally my fault that I died. And it's a shame because, you know, I don't like to have these, you know, short characters, short deaths on this channel. Although, you know, I mean, maybe it's for the best. You know, they don't have to be long sagas, all of them. You know, I think, actually, to be honest, you know, personally, when I'm watching other people's crawl videos, most of what I'm interested in is to see the beginning and the end of the character. You know, I mean, you see the beginning of the character, and it's like, okay, that's when the character is the most vulnerable, just starting out, very dynamic. You have to adapt to the build of the dungeon and stuff like that. And, you know, it's really interesting to see if you can survive the initial onslaught. And then, after a while, it's sort of like, okay, alright, you're not going to die anytime soon, probably. So you just sort of skip to the end and see how it ends. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I do notice that my beginning and end videos definitely have way more views than any of the other ones. So I think that's probably a pretty common trend. So maybe if I have these shorter videos, these shorter playthroughs, then it's more beginnings and more ends, so you guys can appreciate that. You know, I know that's probably the most exciting part. You know, you see the beginning, oh, it's real exciting, starting fresh with a new character, new possibilities on the horizon. And then, of course, you want to see the death because, well, a couple of reasons. First of all, that's when you learn something. That's when you learn your mistakes. All right, here I'm learning, don't mess with 8-headed Hydras with only 7 AC. It's a mistake I should have learned a long time ago. But we really got mangled there. And then also, you know, it's just the Schadenfreude. You know, that's the exciting part. That's when it's like, oh no, all my hopes and dreams from the beginning have come to an end, totally dashed. So, anyway, alright, this is enough of a monologue. I'm just trying to stretch this video out now because this playthrough has come to a tragically short end. But you know what? I'm not feeling too bad about it. Probably tomorrow I will be able to start a new character. So, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But anyway, thanks for watching as ever. You guys are great. I'll see you next time.